What's up, Alexa? What's up, Kev? Mike? John? What's up, Hopewell? Kim?
What's up?
How's it going, buddy?
Going. Hey. Hey, Beth.
Hello. Man, you were like way at the end of my lives list. I had to dig for behind
Really?
the scenes. Yeah, it was weird.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we get it.
Hey, Roy.
Hey, Roy.
Hey,
Robin.
Roy, what's up? Robin,
Hey, Kev.
Kev, Kim,
What's up, Alexa Dawn? Kim.
Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how's it going, Mike? How's your guys' week going?
What's up, Bradley?
Brad.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Bentley. Hey, Neaters.
I just sent an invite to Shane.
I did too.
Oh, okay. Hey, Bree.
Hello, Bree.
Oh, sorry, Kev. My grandkids are.
Yeah, sorry to hear
kinda
that.
sick, dude. A lot of stuff
Yuck, yuck.
going on. There we go. There's Shane.
Yes, it's fixed, Robin.
When I said invite, I meant just to the stream, but not to the.
Oh, he was in here already.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
And I sent him an invite.
Okay. You said you didn't see it.
It says I can't send him another invite because I already did.
Oh. We'll get it figured out.
His invite is pending.
Oh, what does that mean?
I don't
You gotta
know.
click on it still?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I think you get it right on the screen, buddy.
Yeah, it should be. Shane, it should be. It should say. I can't remember now what it said. You're invited. Beth, what's it say?
Hold on a second. I'm sending out.
Okay.
What's
Hey,
up,
Eddie.
Eddie? Hey, why'd that get changed again?
Cats, not now.
Oh my gosh.
Robbie
okay.
Doo. Hey, Ring Pull. Hey, Jeff.
Rabby Doo.
Mr. Eddie.
Hey, so we had a good time on Saturday with Alexa came down.
Yes.
Eddie and I came over.
Huge surprise.
Andrew on Andrew's permission. Alexa showed up with a different machine.
Yeah.
That was awesome. The Legend 2, I think, is a
Lisa.
legit machine. So, Ring
It
Pull,
really
I'm
is.
going to dig stock. And Digger Eddie, who's in the chat here. Hello, Lisa.
Hey, Eddie and Ringpool Pirate.
Mr. Ringpole.
So if anybody's going to be there, introduce yourselves to Eddie and myself.
And
Yeah. Oh, cool.
And if you
Yes,
go
Ringpole,
to
looking
Digstock
forward.
and you happen to run into John,
Okay, that's the problem is
Oh,
PC.
uh,
I don't know
John
why it doesn't work on that.
has beautiful objects to be able to give away at Digstock. Okay. And it's got this lovely logo here. They're stickers.
oh, okay. Whew.
So if you run into John,
Yes, I have
if you
stickers.
introduce yourself, John has
Right.
stickers.
So Shane's on his PC. That won't work, right? It only
Yes.
works
Swap to your phone, buddy.
with phone or iPad, I think. right?
Yeah, iPad, yeah.
iPad works too. You got to be on the vertical.
I don't know why it doesn't work on a computer.
You know,
I don't.
YouTube does.
Like, I don't know what the difference is.
That's what I think Shane's used to. So, Shane is a
Yeah.
big time YouTuber. Great channel. We'll talk more about that. I'll let him talk about that when we grill him.
Yeah, can't wait. Hey, no, get away with those tongues.
Smile, Beth.
No.
I'm trying, like, my eyes are, like, not seeing the chat very well right now. I don't know
thought
why.
so.
I'm, like, trying to read it.
There you go. Now you're smiling.
Trying to read everyone's comments, and I'm like, maybe I need to get glasses finally.
Don't do
Start
that.
wearing them.
I even got my computer glasses on. Makes it a lot easier.
Alexa, I'm gonna buy one more size bigger in this shirt because this thing feels like it's just medium. It's too tight around my neck.
Oh, I don't like that. Don't say that.
I don't like that. I'm about to cut this right here because I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, we
I
got to
try to
reinvite.
keep up with chat, Mike.
Oh,
in the
there he
There
is.
he is.
He's made it. Now we just got to turn your camera on, Shane. And then hit save.
Dude, what are you talking about? John is too. He's wearing the hat. Don't listen. Don't come at me right now, Alexa Dawn. You're not very nice.
Uh-oh.
They just wanted to wear it before me.
Hey, Shane.
Hey, Shane.
Guys.
Hey, Shane.
Now I can- Okay, well, I wasn't sure about this. I've never. They should let you do this on the computer because that's what I'm set up for.
Right?
I don't know
Should've
why
mentioned that.
there's issues with that. It doesn't make sense, but
Well, it makes sense. It works on the phone real well, so that's cool.
My bad. I should have told you.
No worries. How's everybody doing today? And
Good.
how's everybody going? I don't know you other two, so I need to know your name. So
My name's Andrew.
and I'm Beth.
Andrew and Beth. Well, it's really nice to meet you guys. I've known John for probably a few years, just didn't know him personally. So
Right.
Nice.
there's just so many different little sects on on all the social media, and it's awesome to find a new group of people. So I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely.
It's nice to meet you too.
That's one thing I really do is I do like about the TikTok. We got that's a huge portion of the communities on here, and then they bounce over to YouTube and stuff like that. So this is where I found everybody was on TikTok.
Yeah,
Same.
it's one of those things that I get hooked on it for a little while, but then I always seem to go back to YouTube because that's where I'm comfortable at, especially with with the live streaming and the different types of setups. And it's just, but there's a lot more people in this treasure hunting community than what you might think.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's huge.
We're just spread out on all the different platforms.
Hey, Ram detecting.
Makes it fun.
It really does. And it's neat too because on the YouTube aspect of it, you can do full length videos. So if you go and go live while you're out metal detecting them, say on YouTube, it's going to save that whole thing. Or you can do full length episodes where you're doing 30-minute segments.
Yeah, I just haven't really played around over here as much. I love to do the editing, right? I like to be creative. That's what I do like about TikTok is that the editing is a little bit more free on what you can put up.
Right.
But I also love the podcasting of the live streaming. That's been a big part of how I've met a lot of people, and so it's become a mainstay in my life. So, man, it's just a blast.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's cool to see what you're capable of doing on YouTube, some of the people that I absolutely love watching with their editing skills, Dan with Green Mountain Detecting. He does a phenomenal job with his editing, right, in these episodes, and that's what's awesome.
Hey,
What's up, Eric
Give me Brad. Did you say Brad or
or
Dan?
Brad? I messed up.
Yeah, but that's another thing that's awesome about him is Brad shows up in my life. Is it me that's echoing or?
I'm
Hey, Jeremy.
echoing.
I don't know. I don't know who's echoing this time. I was just pointing my finger at you because I like doing that.
I just want to make sure it's not me. But no, Brad has come
Hey,
by
Jeremy.
in my live streams at times, and it's like you're kind of in awe over somebody that has kind of, I don't want to use the term made it, but has made a super huge following, and then all of a sudden they show up on one of your live streams that it makes you feel pretty good.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely awesome. It's like, like that same feeling. I was actually just talking to John about that the other day. We went to Come Out Swinging last year, and we're going over to the sign-in tent, and the quarter hoarder group was there, and like there's a group of people, surrounding them and stuff and doing like pictures and stuff, and it was just really cool to see that as like he's like almost like a celebrity of this activity, so it's kind of neat to see it, but he's like the most humble person ever.
Yeah, I mean, redneck famous, right? We can all be that a little bit. That's going to be one of the big things coming up because here in the last 7 days, been in the process of taking over West Shore Hobbies from Mike Vidovich. So I'm going to be running that website and going to be doing events as a distributor of detectors. So that's the next phase in my existence around here. And the other thing that I get into more than anything is being a member of a community, but not just using it for what you can get out of it, because that's stupid. But getting in there and actually being a part of it, helping out. We went down this year and supported Florida Hunt 11, donated a bunch of prizes for it because it's a veterans event. And don't get me wrong, the other events are really cool, but if you're going to support veterans, I'm going to support you. Things that give back to people that have given to our country and to our freedom and stuff like that. So that's going to be one of the things that this year is going to be new for me, is that I'm going to spend as much time detecting as possible, hopefully. But I'm going to get a chance to go out and meet a lot more people.
That's awesome.
That's a cool opportunity.
Right. And that's exactly right. You hit the nail on the head with that. That's what it is the community, everybody helps, each other and stuff. And that it's never about, I'm like way up here or whatever. And that's one thing that I absolutely liked about meeting Jason with Quarter Hoarder, is he's the same way. I'm not, just because I do YouTube doesn't make me a big superstar, and it's about community. He's helped us, doing different things, or, we've got, all these people that, constantly follow us, and then, we're supporting them when they're live, and that's what it is. We've all become like a big family, which is awesome. And that's one thing, like every time we get together as a group is, you get out there and it's like, I don't even care about metal detecting at that point. I just want to hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that speaking of that, it's like you're absolutely right. It's when you do something, like when you do any form of social media and you put yourself out there a little bit, it's not an easy thing to put yourself in front of a camera. Initially when you do it, it's kind of hard because you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to find haters. You're going to find all of that stuff. But over the course of time, what happens is that you do build like a family. And it's like we did Dig Stock a few years ago, and and there's some things that I know you probably don't know that I do, but I run a group. We call it Monday Digs, and we showcase different metal detecting videos every Monday night. So everybody has a time slot. And then so it's a community support thing. We go from one video to the next when people do their premieres, and we all hang out for 2 hours.
Right.
So and then you go to an event with a group of your friends that you've never met before, and then it's like when you get together for the first time, it's like you're all brothers and it's been family for life. And I wouldn't trade that for the world. It's the best part of the hobby.
Right. Absolutely. I remember. So for my first group event, Dig was Dig It Dude, hosted by Dawn, Shelley, Audra and Bobby Buddha. And, I was like talking to John the whole way down from New York. We're driving over to New Jersey, and like I was nervous / like I'm excited, like I'm going to get out and do a group dig and stuff like that. And, nervous to like meet all these other people that have been obviously doing this way longer than I have. I've only been doing this for just a little over 3 years now. And, I knew Beth was going to be there and a couple other people and stuff. And it was like, you introduced yourself to this person. And it's like, you've known each other forever, it's like that instant bond over a hobby, that we all get to enjoy. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. It takes like 2 seconds when you run into people. I just went to Florida Hunt 11, and Greg Popolo and Scott Bird, they ran that event down there. And when I got there, I hadn't spoken to either one of them, not more than just a couple of minutes. I talked to Greg on the phone one time. And then there were several other people that I hadn't, met before when I got down there. It was like, immediately it was just like we'd known each other for years. And I guess that's the one special thing about metal detecting is that it really does bring people together. I mean, I can't believe like-minded folks, right? I guess if you have the same interests, it's real easy to meet new brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. So how long have you been metal detecting for?
Well, that's a kind of complicated question. So I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was somewhere around 9 years old, and I grew up, in my generation. I'm a little older than most people might think, so I'm not going to exactly sell myself out. But when we started out, and my stepdad was a ball coach, and my stepbrother was an excellent baseball player, and they would drag me around as a 8-9-year-old kid to these different ballparks for tournaments and stuff like that. And I was sitting there bored as usual because I wasn't quite into sports yet, and I saw this guy down the way by the baseball field, and he had this machine in his hand, and he was looking around, and every time I looked up, he was digging up coins. Well, my stepdad got sick of giving me money when we went to these events. So I went down there and I talked to this guy. I watched him for like 30 minutes, and I watched him, and he was digging up. I see him dig up a quarter or whatnot, and I just sit there and watched. I was in complete awe. Finally, I asked him, what he was doing and how I could learn to do it, and he explained it to me. I didn't know anything about it. I went home. I asked my mom and dad for a metal detector for Christmas, and they got me this little service merchandise machine. It had a little white coil, had a center on it, and it said bullseye or something like that on it. And so I started taking that with me to events when they would play baseball, and I would go dig up pocket change so I could go to the concession stand and get snow cones and stuff. And so that's how I started. I lost it for about 25 years of my life. You have kids, you build a life, and then eventually you start wanting to do something for yourself again. You need a hobby as you age, and I got back into it 2014 or so, 2015. Went out and bought me an Ace 350 or something like that, and the next thing you know, I think it was 2017. Nocta Macro came out with the Impact, and I bought that machine. And then once I bought that machine, I had all the different settings. I started looking on YouTube to see how to use it.
Nice. That's awesome. It's always nice to know like where someone came from with getting into metal detecting, because the stories are always phenomenal. It changes all the time. You got, I started during COVID, or I seen it on TV, or my dad used to do it, and it's always awesome to learn. Because it's part of you. That's your story.
Yeah, and everybody's story is different.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely it. I mean, and I that 2 years before I really started playing competitive baseball, I don't remember ever going hungry at an event. I mean, there was always money and there was always coins to be found.
Absolutely.
But the one thing I don't remember finding or paying attention to when I was little like that, because I was still pretty young, was I don't remember finding jewelry, and I'm wondering why that is. So I think I was just scratching what was on the surface. I never found like rings or stuff. I always found money though.
No kidding. That's awesome though. Like, got a metal detector so you go buy snacks while you're at a ball game. That's perfect. Like, I love
Yeah,
it.
I love it.
being the step kid, right? My stepdad, he was forced into taking me. You know that my stepdad and my stepbrother, they probably didn't really like me that much at the time, right? As this little kid, and I wasn't part of their bloodline, and my mom was doing whatever, so and they were just forced into it. So I stayed out of their hair. I guess that's probably why they still talk to me.
Oh goodness, that's awesome. I'm surprised though you didn't
Go
find
Shelly.
much far as like jewelry wise goes back then. That's crazy. Could you imagine that though, being like 8, 9 years old and pull out like a you know 14 karat gold 2 foot long gold
Right.
necklace?
It was just pull tabs, beer tabs, and coins around the baseball fields. That's all I ever really found.
That's so
I'm
cool.
surprised though. I
Right.
never really had thought about it before, but it was just mainly coins and then basic trash.
Right. It's Ram detecting said still is. Hey Shelly, hey Dawn.
Hey Shelly, hey Mark.
See how there's that community like we were talking about.
Yeah, Shelly and Don, they've been on a long time. Mark from Ram Detecting, I've known him for a long time. You kind of go around and you kind of see different people, or not everybody is going to always watch you. You're going to watch different people and stuff like that.
Right.
But those are just all awesome people. If you remember people that well, they're good folks.
That's right. So what detector do you swing now?
I got 4,
Oh my
5, 6. I'm sorry, I got 6.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah.
So I just got the Legend 2. I've been waiting to start it. The weather's been kind of crappy. I've been waiting to get started with it. I'm going to start with it this week. But before
Nice.
that, I either swing the Legend and I got a triple score for fun. And then I have my older machines that I still like to use. I still like to use my Nokta Impact. That's it's a little heavier, but it's a pretty good
Right.
machine. And then I got the Tarsace MDT 8000.
I haven't even heard of
That's
that.
a really cool machine too.
No kidding. That's and I think I didn't get to I held on to it for like a minute, but getting to see it in action though, I think you're really gonna like that Legend 2. That thing, Alexa has one, and that thing is awesome.
Yeah, so they've done such a really good job of making the Legend, the first one, ultra programmable. You can really dial it in really well, not get yourself too far out to where you mess up with it. But it's been an amazing machine, and I am so excited to get started with the new one. I'm super comfortable with it. The thing of it is that you take it at its price point. The Legend, when I got it, it's a few hundred cheaper than some of the other big machines, but I think it keeps up with everything.
Oh, absolutely.
This one here,
I think
this
so
one here
too.
was a little bit more money, but I still think that I can keep up with those using the Deus and the Manicore. I'm confident in the machine.
Oh, absolutely. Alexa was so I swing a Deus, John swings a Deus, and our buddy Digger Eddie was with us on Saturday. He has a Manicore, and she was sticking right with us, and it's the sound quality through the headphones was like, whoa, it was really good. Kind of like John and I were talking about it, kind of want to see what it's like how it sounds in that high iron area, but Alexa was pulling good stuff out of the ground.
Yeah, somebody said something about the iron discrimination. I swing all metal mode all the time, but what I do is on the Legend, I use the volume of your ranges in there. So like my 0 to 10 is at the bare minimum volume, because if I'm in an iron patch, I don't want to have it nulled out. I want to hear it. I want to know that it's there, but I don't want it to blow my eardrums out. So I'll keep the volume way down on the tones that I'm not looking for, just so I still hear them, and then I keep my high tones and specific little patches of numbers that I'm looking for, because I've got my own way of swinging, so I keep those a little bit higher so that they catch my attention. So yeah.
Right. See, and that's another thing too, is with how these machines are and being able to program different stuff, right? And back a while ago, before you could do that stuff, you had a machine and you had to learn those tones, right? You had to learn the VDIs, you had to listen for those tones, and you just had to kind of deal with all the sound of the iron and whatnot. And it's cool now, is like my machine settings. I swing the same machine as John. My machine settings might be different than his, because it's to what I want, and then he's got his the way he wants. Beth swings a legend or Deus too as well, and she's the same thing. Her machine's going to be different than mine. It's just like the legend. It's just like the Manticore. Everyone has their cup of tea when it comes down to it, really. But no matter what, you're going to find what's in the ground. You get your coil over it.
That's right.
It's about location, what you get your coil over. It's and how dedicated to your grid, and how much slowing down. I see people go a million miles an hour, just take off in a field and be lost.
Yeah, John.
If I find a target, if I find something that I like, I always stop and I grid out about a 10-foot round circle before I even move on my line. So if I find something in an area, I make sure that I hunt that area pretty extensively before I walk away, and also swing back over the same spot. I don't know how many times that I've dug a shallow coin, modern coin, and then went back over the same spot, and then I hear something, chirp a little deeper, right? So I think it's just about how your form, taking your time, enjoying the process. Heck, it's not a race. Just get out there and enjoy just hearing that beep instead of your boss in your ear, right? Just listen for that tiniest of town. Every time I take my time and slow down, my finds get a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, so you're not more of a just kind of go around. You're a grid guy.
I'm a research, and then once I find something, I will basically grid that area. So I will start on a line, and then if I get one good target in that line, then I will stop. I will grid an area out, and then I'll go back to my line. I use you don't ever see them when I put videos out, but I got a whole stack of these little John Deere flags, and then when I go out and detect, if I start a line, I'll mark a couple marks to show which way I'm going, and then I will pin an area for while I'm looking. So
that's awesome.
Just because like I said, I don't want to miss nothing. If long-standing permissions, I will take my time. Now, like if you're in somebody's yard or something like that, and you know that you can't go back, that's a little bit different,
right?
But you can cherry pick a little bit in a yard, because that's you're trying to get the best stuff that you can get. But a lot of farm field permissions that we use LiDAR and different tools like that. Fortunately for me, the area that I'm in has a lot of historic maps, so I got a lot of resources to use. But I try not to waste my days. I try not to go to empty sites. And if I have a good site, I try to keep digging it until I don't find anything.
Right.
Speaking of area, what state are you in? I'm facing the Ohio River right now, so I'm interested.
I'm looking right there. So everybody thinks that I live in Ohio, but I'm actually I do most of my digging in Indiana, but I'm on the Kentucky side between Cincinnati and Louisville.
Okay.
That is baseball town, right?
It's a good history.
Yeah, so the Ohio River, along the Ohio River bank, especially coming in from the east, the county that I do most of my digging in was settled in the late 1700s. There's good history all up and down the river. So.
Said
Crystal.
Louisville correctly.
If I was on the Indiana side, I would be between Madison and Vevey, and that's about 40 miles west of Cincinnati, down the river.
Now, metal detecting out there towards that Ohio, or like on the Ohio River stuff. I didn't know this. I guess I really didn't know much about the War of 1812 until the other day. I started doing a lot of research into it. Do you find a lot of War of 1812 stuff, military stuff out there?
No, but I do have. So I've got a great story on my YouTube channel. We have a permission. The early around that time frame, basically there was this area that we lived in the early 18 teens was mostly Indian inhabited, right? So people were pushing west, and they were coming, into Indiana, and basically they were populating around the rivers. They were moving the Indians different directions. So as they tried to expand some of the towns, there was instances where they needed help from the government because they pushed out and tried to incorporate a new little town, and then they met Native Americans that wanted to fight them. There's an area about 30 miles off the river. It was called Barbersville, and it was a little town that they were trying to incorporate in 1812. Well, they met huge Indian resistance, and there was some post-Revolutionary War veterans that still had their little group of militia together, and the U.S. government sent them out here, gave them a tract of land, told them to build a fort and keep the Indians back so that this town could be. I got access to this whole area. The house that sits on it is 1812.
Oh my God.
I've got the actual lock from the door, the original lock from the door, and I got the original iron skeleton key that this Buchanan brought from England when he moved over in the 1700s. They brought their locks with them sometimes. And I found both of those items. Are two of my favorites. But long story short, they built this fort, and it was there for 15 years where it was used as a military base, and I never found military items other than flat buttons.
Wow.
But no emblematic stuff, nothing that was there. And I dig it every single year. As soon as they harvest, I'm out there, and we know exactly where the fort was at. The cemetery's right behind there. We have never found a lot there, but the evidence shows that where it was at, and we just haven't been that lucky. So 1812, when you say that war, it drives me crazy because I've got a great permission that's 50 acres plus, and I've never found the actual evidence from it.
Dang. That's cool though. That lock and the skeleton key. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I got those two items. I got a very immaculate 2-cent piece from later on. No largies. And only other things from that era, the early era, was flat buttons.
Right.
And about 30 or so of them, but we never found that epic find, right? The one that you're looking for. It just wasn't there.
Dang. Now, do you guys? With that being said, too, obviously the Ohio River was huge during the French and Indian War. Do you guys find a lot of signs from that?
No, I think heavy inhabitants really came into just pre-Civil War time, close to that area, that era. That's when I start. I still find a lot of Civil War stuff. Morgan's Raiders came right through our area, if you know who that is.
Yep.
And so they were looking for that. They were looking for that Union gold, right?
Yeah.
And they come rampaging all around where I live. And I wonder if that hoard that they found down in Kentucky last year, all them gold coins, I'm wondering if that wasn't the gold that they were looking for.
It could very well be possible.
It could be.
Yeah, they came up across the river down by Evansville, and then they went across southern and southeastern Indiana, and then they moved into Ohio. We followed the guy I used to dig with a lot. He moved to Tennessee, so I don't see him much anymore. But we used to follow their path, just looking for their stuff, just gaining permissions along the way because their path was well documented. Once again, that's, when you're looking for something specific, sometimes you don't know if you found anything from them, but we sure tried a lot.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. I know that was one of the things that John and I were trying to do. Because our area was pretty heavy for a general that came through here, and was forcing out the Native Americans, and we try to get on that track, but again, it's like you said, it's a pretty documented for that time period. It's pretty documented. Right, there you go. Sullivan's Trail. It's pretty documented, but again, you start getting into some of those areas and, it's a needle in a haystack. You're out there trying
You can miss it by 100 feet
right. Exactly. You never know.
or less.
Yeah, I mean, you could be on the right piece of property, and you could be on a
Thank you,
5 acre
Landon.
property, and you might not ever find the campsite, right? I
Right.
mean, it's research, but you got to have a little bit of luck too. You've got to get on that initial hot spot, or you got to find the clues that you're looking for. That's why I like field hunting the most, because
Mhm.
the research, and there's a lot of tools, and you're out on a 20-acre field and you find that one area where that undocumented home site was at that nobody else has detected. That could be it. That could be, you could find your gold coin, your GW button, all the things that everybody's looking to find might be just because you got lucky enough to stumble upon that home site that you weren't sure was there.
Right. Now, how often do you end up doing that where you find, you go to an area and it's got a home site, right? And let's say, you start fanning out and, you're trying to find that edge of that iron line, or that edge of the deconstruction zone, as I normally call it. Do you end up stumbling upon an unknown structure that ends up being, there was just an undocumented house there?
So yeah, one of the towns that we detect next to, the river road has moved, right? They moved it up further away from the river, and then you can see on the original county maps that everybody was close to the water, because in the 1800s, river was the main form of transportation. Like a lot of stuff shipped from here down all the way down to as far as New Orleans. So there was an old road, and we gained permission of all the farm fields down through there, and I got one edge of that had it was owned by somebody, but there was no documented home on the site. It wasn't their actual address where they lived, but they owned the land. Cool story. Talking about the Indians again. This husband and wife couple lived on this property, and I guess he was abusive to some degree, and she was there with him, and they lived on the border of the Ohio River in a creek. So they had this little lot of land that was really cool. Sometime around 1850 something, she got fed up with his crap, and she cut his throat in his sleep. And then she blamed it on the Native Americans in the area that were still in the area, because
wow.
Oh my goodness.
so everybody, nobody did any investigation. You didn't have private eyes. You didn't have marital spats like that. That all they knew is that they found this dude's window broken and his throat cut in his sleep. And so they just took her word for it that it was the American Indians. 40 years later, her kids told on her deathbed, but the kids actually knew. So but there was some deal with women owning property at the time as well. There was some kind of, so she had killed this guy, and we found their actual home site that wasn't marked. It has generated a ton of really good finds.
There you go.
Some really weird Civil War tokens. This guy named Louis Kossuth, I got a token out of there. Got my first Flying Eagle penny out of there. And we stumbled upon this by accident. It wasn't even supposed to be there. It was supposed to be a farm field, as their house was supposed to be elsewhere. So that's one of those instances where we came up. But then the story, reading into it about how she tricked the law into thinking that the Indians, that Native Americans had killed her husband, was kind of so she could keep her property. And she had peace of mind after that, I guess. Makes me want to get a chastity belt for my neck when I go to sleep.
Goodness. Yeah,
Really,
right.
Janine?
Okay, Janine.
We have a
That's
funny
crazy.
chat, Shane. So.
It's wild though. It's like, situations like that. Sometimes produces some of the best stuff. We've stumbled upon one, that we didn't know what it was, and it turned out really good. John just recently did that actually with Eddie. Same thing. Just ended up stopping at this spot and was going around, and they found other house sites. It's on this section of road that wasn't on the map at all. And sometimes those are the best surprises, right?
And it happened to us at Digstock as well when we went to the one in upstate New York a few years back. A good friend of mine, Ken Price or Practical Ken, he had done the research for us when we went up there, and he had found a couple. He took the map that they gave us and he gridded the whole area prior to, and he had found several places on the land that we had to dig that wasn't on the map. So that yielded, just doing that research before we went to Digstock, that yielded me my first British coin, my first British copper, and a lot of other stuff. We had a group of people that did really well on that one undocumented site. So
That's
Thank you,
awesome.
Kim.
research is
That is
everything.
awesome.
Yeah, research is everything. So how did you enjoy digging in New York?
Wow, it was really cool. It was November that year when we went to, and I can't remember the name of it was right up there on Lake Champlain, right off of it. And it was November, and we woke up in the morning, and I was with Gene Wooten. His family is We Dig It, and they live in St. Croix. So they live where it's 88 degrees every day. And
Oh,
we woke up those mornings, and it was 19, 20 degrees in upstate New York. And I thought the man was going to die, walking outside. And he was born and raised in Michigan, right? So you would think that he would have remembered how cold it was.
Right.
He's a big dude, right? I'm a little short guy, right? And Gene's like 6'6". He was freezing to death in the mornings. You would have thought the world was coming to an end when somebody that sees 80 degrees every day. But the day warmed up really nicely. And it was, God, it's just beautiful up there. I don't like the cold, but it was definitely beautiful.
yeah. It's definitely awesome up here. That's one of the things. So John and I are both, we're from New York, which is nice. We get a lot of the colonial stuff. I know we're always looking out for the folks that are digging all the Civil War time period stuff, all the goodies. You're kind of like right in the middle, though. You kind of get that early transition into the Midwest. Or I shouldn't say Midwest, but
Yeah, it's being right on the river, which was the main mode of transportation from east to west. You start like right there in Pittsburgh and Ohio, on the Ohio River, and you go all the way to the Mississippi. So population started next to the bodies of water. So we're fortunate enough to have stuff that's early 1800s. We don't always find a lot of it, but at least the potential is there. And then when you get out into the mid-state, that's when you're like the mid to late 1800s more so. But we have potential, so that's all I can ask for.
absolutely.
Hey Shane, did you see Hot Mess Fishing is in the chat?
Hi, Miss Alicia. She lives like 30 to 40 minutes south of me, and I've only got to dig with her a few times, but love her to death.
I'm going to be meeting her this week at Digstock. So.
Well, let me tell you something. She is a bundle of joy. She is fun to dig with, and she's one of my favorite people in the community. Also,
I want to give you a
Kick-Ass
shout
Nomad.
out for
What's
what you
that?
did for her. It was really touching.
Yeah, we raised a good bit of money to help her mom out. I know Quarter Hoarder took over after that, but I pride myself on my sect of the community, the people that I'm with, and then we did her mom and her solid, and I will do it again any day of the week.
That's awesome, Shane.
This is part of the reason why I got Shane on here is because a lot of people don't see it from TikTok, don't see the YouTubers. Shane has been, since the day I've watched him, has been one of the biggest supporters of our community. So I just want to give him a lot of credit for that.
Heck yeah.
I appreciate you. Just some of the stuff that we do is that we find, once you get a community together, right? Many hands make light work. So last year, what we did is I had a section, a time frame there that I wanted to give away some gear, but I didn't want to just give it away through a random drawing or running a race or whatever everybody does. So I reached out and had everybody send in a submission. Anybody that knew somebody that would like a metal detector, right? That's how it started. And I promoted it. I pushed it out there quite a bit, and hardly anybody took me up on it. I think we ended up having 13 submissions, something like that. It went over so well and on the first person that got it, they actually won it. Everybody voted on. We gave away a metal detector, a whole kit. It was an entry level detector for somebody new, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, when it was over, I started getting emails from other people saying, "Hey, I'll chip in money to help you get a Findex if you want to keep going." So over the course of the year, we kept running races with everybody that submitted, and we ended up getting everybody on that list a metal detector that needed one.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
It was an idea that came up. A guy named Mark emailed me and said, "Hey, why don't we just try to continually raise a little bit of money and just keep buying detectors for these people, since they took the time to write submissions." They all sent in great stories. There's a lot of people in our community that live vicariously through our digging and what they hear on us on a live stream or a podcast. So they don't have money to go dig, and when you get these stories, some of them were really touching. I mean, and so we ended up the whole year giving out detectors, and it's just worth it. I mean, if like I said, you don't have to put a lot of money in. Everybody chipped in money, and we just sit there and handed out detectors all year. It was really fun last year.
That's
Do it
awesome.
again.
We had a lot of people
Absolutely. Let's do it again.
very happy.
I'll help. Give one away. I'll chip in.
I think it's easier on the tube of you than it is on here, actually.
Yeah, this here I'm definitely interested in. I'm eligible to live stream over here. I've thought about trying it. I just haven't really. I focus so much on the YouTube side and a little bit more on the Facebook. But like I said, now that I'm going to be trying to make this kind of part of what I do for a living as a supplemental income, the website and the metal detecting and all that is it's my retirement plan, right? That's what I want to be able to go travel around and do that when I semi-retire.
That's a good job right there.
Yeah, I mean, I've saved my whole life. I'm pushing. I want to get out at 59 and a half. I want to start running around just living life how I want to then. It's a pipe dream. It's possible. So I'm going to keep holding on to it. But like I said, I don't know how this thing's going to go with West Shore Hobbies. We purchased it. It's got an Amazon store that does really well, an eBay account that does well that came with it. So we're really gonna promote it this year and build it up, and hopefully I can make enough supplemental money to start traveling more.
Heck
Awesome.
yeah. That's awesome. You definitely let us know any way that we're able to support that, to be able to make your dream come true.
Shoot, yeah. Here in about 5 days, when I finish getting through all the red tape from the website and getting everything transferred over, that stuff is not as easy as you would think it would be.
Right.
Once I get it all over, I will hit you guys up with if you guys want to support in any way, shape, or form. You can be affiliate sponsors, whatever you like. I will donate some detectors or something in here, pinpointers. I'll come back and help you guys out because this is awesome. It's a whole new area for me and new people, and I love it.
Heck yeah. What is something when you are out detecting? What's something that absolutely drives you nuts that you just can't stand finding? Like if you never found another one, you'd be happy.
Oh, I mean, I guess the inevitable answer to that is pull tabs. I that's the most because I like to dig older sites and a pull tab range is usually can be something very good. A lot of people don't
Oh yeah.
like lower midtones. I thrive on them. Those are my favorite signals because you just don't know what they're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So pull tabs are probably my biggest nemesis because they're small and they sound good. But I like that tone that they give off, that mid tone. I would rather really not find them anymore. I'm sure that's probably the answer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Come on, guys. You guys got some questions for Shane?
Mine's rivets. Mine's rivets.
Yeah.
Rivets always sound good.
I dug a couple rivets this past weekend and was thinking of you cursing them.
So for me, it drives me nuts. Like I get, out there in the fields and stuff, we're getting those pull tabs and stuff. It happened a couple times this past weekend, but honestly, the things I cannot stand the most is the scythe keepers, for the old scythes for harvesting crops. So those things every time ring up like a largie, and you're so excited because you get to see a little bit of the green, and then you pull that thing out of the hole, and it's like, are you serious?
I don't get to find those that much, but I know what you're talking about. That's the thing is that the find that tricks you into thinking you found something that you really want. I just put out a video yesterday and was in Florida, and I got like a 53 on my legend, and usually a 53 has a chance to be silver, of course. And I dug it up, and it was like some kind of old cattle tag or something like that, and it sounded so good. It was deep. I thought for sure I had something good, and it still was kind of good, but it wasn't what I expected. I don't like those at all that really trick me because I don't find a lot of the big silver. I mean, the only really big silver that I got is around my neck. It's my it's my walker. And the story behind that's really good too. I found this in a stone wall.
No
So
kidding.
Really?
Okay. All right, we got to hear the story now.
so there's an old newspaper office that was I don't even know what it was back in the 1800s, but currently it's a newspaper office and it's in the middle of this town. And so basically, it had the property lines right there together had bam, 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 and they had stone walls then between them. And I was mad because I was going down this way and I was swinging and I just kept digging pop can after trash after pop can. And I thought, this between these two properties leads right down here to the river, and there's a big open area that used to be a residential area at this park. So I was like, I'm just going to swing this wall for a little bit. And I got the same signal. It sounded like a shallow pop can. It was just in my ear loud, but it was in the rock wall. And there was a little gap in there, and I stuck my hand in there, and I pulled out this 1942 Walker.
That's crazy.
Oh my
And I was like, the guy I was with got us the permission, and I walked up to him, and I was like, "You're never going to believe what I found in the wall." And he was like, "I don't know." And I dropped it in his hand, and he was like, "You got to be kidding me." He says, "I've been swinging out here for a year." And it was his permission. He's like, I've been swinging out here for a year. And he says, I never thought to swing the wall. So the rest of that day, we swung both sides of that concrete wall. It was about 100 feet long, looking for anything else. And we didn't pull anything else out of there. Somebody must have just stuck it in there underneath one of the stones on the old stone wall.
Wow. That's amazing, though.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
one of the times I didn't have my camera on me. So I never got to record it.
Oh. That's insane.
But you have the memory, so.
The memory was great. The better part of the memory was my friend that didn't find anything out there that day, and me dropping it in his hand and the look on his face.
John does that often to people.
That is a good reminder to hit those unusual spots. I agree, Bree.
Yeah,
It is.
That's a good point. Is that you've got the areas that like when you dig a property, where the people frequented, but you kind of got to look for definitely around the bases of old trees, and if there was outbuildings and structures, you got to look around them, even though there's more trash there. Just you got to look around. You can't just do the cookie cutter sites or spots, because if somebody got there before you, they dug it. So
Right.
I always swing the roots of trees that are knocked down in the woods, just hoping something's there.
it's a good place to find stuff for sure.
I know a lot of people will avoid those areas just because they don't feel like trying to dig around all the roots or through the roots and under the roots. And I know
There's
I know
no-
I
It's a
can
pain,
stand
but-
that. Yeah, right.
Well, metal detectors are lazy. So, I mean, honestly, everybody's looking for the low hanging fruit. Everybody's looking for the easy, fast finds.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and you got to understand, and this goes to anybody that's in this community whatsoever that does treasure hunting. I think we've peaked. I think we've hit the maximum, the maximum amount of easy finds that's kind of been found. Now it's going to be work, because it's going to be a downhill slide over the next so many years. You stop producing pennies now, right? So people are going to go out, and it's an all-time high of people out metal detecting. You're going to have to work for your good targets, and it's going to diminish over time. Eventually this hobby may not have a lot left to offer, and that's kind of scary.
Right. Right, Bree. Well, see, and that
Yeah, Bree.
that brings up a really good point. For exactly what you just said and like what Bree just said, when going down to Georgia, it was kind of eye-opening to me was, we went metal detecting with Cliff Condra with Reach in History, and he took us to the site, and that's right, Cliff Strong, baby. That was one of the things he had told us when we were hiking up this mountain to where they had the artillery line for the Confederate soldiers was, it's like, oh man, have you ever found, I bet you find a lot of belt buckles up here or breastplates, you name it, three ringers, yada, yada, yada. And that was one of the things he had said. He's like, believe it or not, he's like, not nearly as many as you think I would, because a lot of his area used to be stomping grounds for Butch Holcomb and his buddies. So that was one of those things where a lot of those areas, that's what people were doing, in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, was they were out there metal detecting. So those huge targets like a breastplate and a belt buckle, those things are going to be those pieces that are going to get pulled out of the ground real quick. It's just like big silver, big silver up here. How often do we find big silver? Not very often, because a lot of that stuff, those 1980s and 1990s and early 2000s machines, it's going to pick that up. It's going to sound great. People were digging that stuff.
Yeah, it's for sure. I can just see it over. I mean, we've got some really big permissions, like some pretty big farm fields, a lot of acreage, and it seems like we find less and less every year. So we try to expand and move out, and then, but most of the time, like when you see a property with a house that's mid 1800s, and you see that it's got acreage attached, and you stop in and get permission. Well, you're welcome to dig, but so and so had been out here 20 years ago for almost a month straight, and but you can look, and I'm not, and you're still gonna find some stuff. It's just not gonna be as frequent as what it was, back when somebody hit these before they were hit. So you got to do your research, you got to keep looking, you got to work at it. If you want to be successful in this hobby now, you've got to put in work.
That's right. And we're definitely, you're still out there finding stuff. Well, like you said, you got to put in that work. Like, you got to have that mindset when you're going out there to go metal detecting. Like, you're going out there, you're going to dig some holes. Get ready to work.
Oh yeah.
It's
outside the
100.
box.
It's at least 100 a day. When I go out to a site, I want to dig at least 100 holes, because your percentage of treasure is going to be about 15 to 20%, right?
Right.
So the more holes you dig, the better chance you got at finding something epic.
Very true.
Of course you would, Rob.
That and taking chances on signals that a lot of other people wouldn't dig, I guess.
I couldn't quite read that comment. It said something about metal detecting needs a license at some point. I can't quite see it. My eyes are bad. What was that?
So it was one of our community members, Kim, asking Steve Allen from New Jersey, did detecting require a license at one point?
I don't think so here. I know that if you go to Cincinnati, you can buy a license to dig in their parks. Louisville does not allow any detecting on public ground in that county, so you can't dig there. I would think a state license would be a good idea, honestly, because I think a state license would it might help curb some of the bad detectorists out there that don't cover their holes or throw away their trash.
Right.
I think if there was some accountability and it costs something to do so, I would like to think that maybe people would have more respect for the hobby. And that's one of the bad things, right? People that don't take care of the hobby, that don't show the respect that it deserves, are going to get it taken away from us too. We're going to have less and less places to dig because people live in open holes. You know, like I like to dig. I like to dig sports fields, right? I like to find modern jewelry. That's fun too. And if you leave holes in the ground and don't fill your hole up properly, and some kid twists an ankle, they're going to take it away from you. You're going to lose your privilege.
Absolutely.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. Trying to do my puzzle.
Yeah. So how do you approach somebody with, like, you see you're with a friend or whatever, and it's like they're not doing it right? I think you got to be like, kind of like, it's a tough one, right?
So my closest group of people that I dig with, I've got 3 local people that I dig with, and we hold ourselves accountable. Like if one of us, if we've got a new permission and we're out there 2 or 3 of us, and somebody is a little lackluster, they're getting screamed at. Hey, fill your dang hole. Hey, you left a little bit of slop over here. Clean up a little bit better. Because it's a privilege, right? You're on private property. Somebody says you can come dig up my yard, or you can dig on my property. You need to take care of them people. Whether it be give them a fine, maybe if you have a great day, throw them a tip at the end of the day. Just something to show gratitude for somebody letting you on their property. But taking care of the property is first and foremost, and cleaning up trash.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, that's like the biggest no metal detection, right? Is not filling your holes and take your garbage with you.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
if you do
more
those 2
frustrating.
things, if you do those 2 things, property owners are going to respect you. And I'll tell you something else about that is that if you don't do those things, somebody's going to remember your face and your name, and somebody's going to say, "Oh yeah, this guy was out here on my land. I let him go metal detecting, and oh my gosh, the mess he made." And then the next person, small communities, people know everybody. Then you go talk to somebody, you knock on somebody's door. Hey, aren't you so and so? Yeah. Oh, I heard about you digging on such and such property. I don't think I want you here. So reputation becomes very important too, right? You have to.
Absolutely.
You have got to show respect.
That's like kind of with the situation that John and I have, is like our area is really small. Like, I shouldn't say small. It's just a small community. It's spread out like crazy. Everybody knows everybody out here, and if you might not know that person, somebody knows that person. So like for us finding permissions, that's one of the things I use now whenever I try to gain a new permission is, oh yeah, I metal detect over on so and so's property, and they're like, oh yeah, we've seen you guys out there, and da 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 da, and that kind of gets the foot in the door, and then it's because we metal detect fields, so we're not out there when they don't see us out there when there's crops growing up, like you shouldn't be out there anymore at that point, or we're not driving our vehicles into their fields and stuff, so they see us respecting that, and that gains us those new permissions.
Yeah, for sure. I think anything you can do to meet a prospective property owner, give them some comfortability about letting you on their land. I think, and just another thing about getting permission is right. it can't be just about you. You got to take a few minutes and make sure you get to know that person a little bit, have a conversation with them. It's okay to ask your question and it's okay to go about it, but make an acquaintance out of the deal, because that person may help you get more permissions down the road if you treat them correctly.
Right. Well, I know the other day, like I just had a problem with I was told no, and I kind of, I wouldn't say, begged and pleaded, but, I contacted the gentleman again, it was like, he really kind of explained, how things go. And, I offered him, I was like, hey, sometime, we can go out to get breakfast or something. I'm more than welcome to show you some of my finds and stuff like that, to get to know that person. They can get to know me, and that goes a long way.
I'll tell you another thing is that I always, when I go onto a site, I have another detector ready in case you find somebody that's interested.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's a good idea.
What better way to gain permission on a Saturday morning than teach somebody else a little bit about the hobby, give them a detector for their own yard or their own property. That's another reason why I carry that triple score around, or that Simplex Ultra. I keep another machine with me at all times, just for that reason, because we had another piece of property that was close to here, early 1800s house. The guy had a couple little kids, and he was like, he didn't know that he wanted us to be there, and we had an extra detector with us, and we let his kids have a detector and a shovel, and they took off. And then he was like calling, asking if we wanted to come back. I mean, it was just, just have some.
Landon.
It can't be just about the take. It's got to be, you got to have something to give as well.
Right. Absolutely. It's always my favorite is, and that's one thing I'm really excited for now is my favorite line from them is, yeah, go ahead. You're probably not going to find anything, but yeah, go ahead, and that's like this gentleman, I'm sure he could probably care less, about my Civil War button, he's not going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, whatever. He's gonna see that and be like, oh, that's really cool, but it's like you said, it's building that relationship, that rapport with somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I think that stems back to just what we were talking about earlier, that it's about community. It's always good to bring, I mean, you're not really hurting yourself by finding if you find a property owner that wants to be involved, that's even better, because, now you've got a new place to dig as much as you want, and you've got somebody that might turn out to be a good friend. It could be somebody that, and you're also sharing your passion with somebody else. What if you instill that passion in somebody else, and then this person says, well, I got 40 other properties we can go to. You don't know how it's going to turn out. So take the time to figure out if you like somebody or not. It's not about just getting permission. It's about getting to know somebody a little bit too. So
right,
it can always help down the road.
Right, exactly. And then, I mean, hey, who knows? Because you build that rapport with that gentleman, he's going to probably know the gentleman that's down the road, right? So that's going to also benefit you.
You ought to go here. Hey, or I'll tell you another little secret is the old timers in your community, people that are in their 70s and 80s that have retired, that sit down at the local diner and drink coffee. Go sit with those guys. All you got to do is drop in what you're doing and talking about it. I promise you that somebody there is going to have a story, a piece of history, or a place for you to go detect. They probably own it, or they know who does, and will help you get permission. Your older community, the people that have lived the life in the area, sit down and have a conversation. A cup of coffee at the diner costs you $1.50, right?
Right.
You sit down and have a conversation.
Great idea, Andrew.
That's a very good idea.
Different ways to get permissions and meet new folks and find things like that. And how I come up with that idea is that one of the counties that I hunt in, there's a lady wrote a book, and I think it's called A Beautiful River. And what she did is that she went around to this other generation that would have been recently passed in the 90s, and she had them tell stories about what they did as kids, where they went and hung out, and we found old swimming holes. We found stuff.
my goodness.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So now we go to the old diner and we talk to the people that are retired, and you can go to your local McDonald's. There'll be a group of older people there in the morning, just chilling out, hanging out. Stop by and ask a question. Hey, just say something in that group. Hey, any of you guys know where a good old historical site would be that I could probably get permission to go metal detect? And they're probably so sick of each other and the same BS stories that they tell every day that they're going to jump on your comment and help you out.
Right. Yeah. You're so right, Shane.
That's
I'm
awesome.
telling you, the older generation is sick of the youth today, and if you're going to focus on something that they care about, which is their generation, you're probably going to have a good time.
You see that what Emily said?
Yep.
She heard two older guys saying they found a cannonball. She got the permission.
Oh goodness. Now I'm gonna get fat eating McDonald's breakfast
Yeah,
every morning.
I think
Oh,
when
that's
we
awesome.
met at Saturday when we met, there was the three older guys. We missed an opportunity there.
We did miss an opportunity. I was too busy.
Earlier.
I was too busy being mean to Alexa, I guess. Oops.
Yeah, so my
Yeah,
friend
Steve.
Kurt and I, we always start our like if we wake up on a Saturday, we used to wake up on a Saturday and we was going to go metal detecting. We wouldn't have a plan most of the time. The Saturday was the day that you go out looking for people for permission. That's the day you hunted. And we always started at this little diner eating breakfast. And that was the thing. We were always listening to what was going on around us and seeing who might know what. And no matter what town we went to, we always find a little diner to stop in and eat. And I don't know how many times we got permission that way, or we got a clue, right? Hey, there's a farm out here on this road here. It's just a couple miles down the way, and there's a couple old houses on that back 40. And that farmer there, he's a really nice guy, always sitting on his porch on Saturday. If you get some idea of where to go, sometimes it's just a help, because once you've been in an area so long, you kind of run out of ideas unless you have things laid out. And sometimes other people will point you in a good direction if you just ask.
Right.
Donuts
Absolutely.
too.
Yeah, donuts. That's how you win John over. Bring donuts.
Bring donuts. Hey,
That's how Rob bribes me with donuts.
Yeah, that's why Rob's still around. No.
That's right. We tolerate him.
Man, there's some folks here in the chat that are super excited to see some of these finds you might have found over the years.
yeah, this is a bad thing. I didn't really prepare that well for it.
I like the
But you know
stories.
what?
The stories are worth it.
The stories are cool. Let me get some light. I'm in my cave down here, my little studio, and I don't ever
Oh.
really light it up. So
Oh, I kind of messed up a little bit. I guess they want to see the necklace up close.
well, let me.
All right, Emily.
It's just a walker.
That's
I bought
awesome.
the bezel and the chain off of Amazon. There's a couple places that sell these for $50. But until I find one older, this is the one that's going to stay on there.
That is awesome.
So when we're on this phone, does it allow me to flip my
Yep.
camera around?
Click your face, and then it should say it'll show the rotate camera thing, and then
Oh, I
just hit
see
pay.
And then you got to hit save.
There you go. Oh my goodness.
So this is one of my finds cabinets. This is the one that I display, and it's got more than just metal detecting stuff in here. I also have bottles and just stuff that I've collected.
Goodness.
I just do some shout outs and stuff really quick. Metal Detecting North Carolina Mike. He has made these challenge coins and he sends them out all the time. So he sent me that one. I like to do these boxes. One of the finds that's in here is right there in front of you. Let's see. That right there is a silver plated. There you go. It's a
Oh, wow.
silver plated officer's infantry button that I found in a local park. And ironically about this button is that it's in great shape. It had something melted to it, like the shirt that it came off of, and it wasn't. About 2 weeks later, I saw on a Hoover Boy episode Kurt pull one of these out of the ground, identical. This is
Wow.
circa 18. This is 1830s.
Wow,
Um,
that's amazing.
and so I make these little boxes up. I got, whenever I find some stuff, I take them with me when I go hunt. And sometimes they're really random, different little things in there, like just an old copper band, a little skeleton key. And I always show stuff like this to the homeowners when I go out. I make up just a few different ones. It's not always super old stuff. It's always a combination.
That's awesome.
Like
That's a
the
good
old
idea
little,
too.
it just sparks up a conversation because a lot of times people don't know what you can and can't find, and they don't believe that you're going to find it where they're at. But I always make sure that I let people know that I find this kind of stuff in places that, like theirs, and it's in the ground, it's deteriorating, and you need to dig it out.
Mhm.
I found this old bell. I decided to clean it up since the dinger was gone in it. Old schoolyard. That
Oh,
was
that's
really
cool.
cool. And then I just put odds and ends in here. Look at this. This is my. I don't even know what this is, but it's some kind of brass dragon escutcheon,
Oh, look at
and I
that.
don't even know what. I never found it. I don't know what it came off
Wow.
of, but it's one of my favorite things.
That is so
So
cool.
So I find this stuff, and a lot of stuff isn't super rare or nothing, but I just put it in here to show it off a little bit. Um, Here's some of my coin display stuff of nice coins that I found. This little necklace charm. I don't even remember what it is. Old dog tag. Uh, Gosh, aluminum tokens. Tell me those don't sound great.
Oh yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
probably one of my best finds of all time, and it's a gold wedding band with a bunch of diamonds in it.
Ooh.
And
Nice.
I don't have I just it's my only gold ring. So I leave it
Awesome.
in this case. Behind that's my first Lesney toy. I found that in upstate New York. Uh, uh, just everything. Monopoly car, man. That was really cool.
That is cool.
This is actually gold. It's been tested, but it was like this. It was just a melted chunk. I don't even know what it was. Tootsie toy.
They want to see the
Uh,
watch.
oh, the
Baccarat.
watch. Yeah, look, I found it just like this. It's not silver, I don't think. I didn't really because it tarnished, and I
Right.
found it just like
Yeah,
this.
that's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's in good shape for being
Yeah, it
laying
is.
around.
It is.
Yeah, I found it in front of a firehouse next town over. Um, and then like I said, and then some of the stuff I put in, that's my first flying eagle. I so I'll put them in little cases so that I remember some of where I found it. This is at that Barbersville. That's that 2 cent piece I talked about earlier.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice shape.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I love the emerald green, right? Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
When a coin comes out that color and it's in still
Oh
that
yeah.
good a shape, it's amazing.
Yes,
Uh,
it is.
little silver toe ring. I found that in South Carolina on the beach. Um, Most of this stuff I remember, but I put other things in here too. Like, so here's some photos of my area, old ferry boat docks and stuff like that. These are the kind of places that I like to dig. I do have permission on this side where this one docked.
Oh,
Let's see.
wow.
So, but I found these in a secondhand store. Basically, the guy had all these photos from the early 1900s, and so I found. I'll set this one down. I found these, and you can see how these docked. So these areas, you're thinking, "Oh wow, a ferry stop! I bet it's a really good place to dig," but they were just
Mm-hmm.
barely made up. So you go out there and look. And that's what these look like. They'd go back and forth across the river to carry people. Oh, this bridge here is right. It's down. It's closer to Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and there's a lot of historical markers next to that. So we magnet fished off this bridge.
Oh, wow.
We didn't pull anything, that was historical, but the opportunity to go do stuff like that around a bridge like that was the fun part. When you go dig
Yeah.
someplace, you don't know that you're going to find anything, but the possibility in a good site is what it is.
There's
Just
a lot
another
of
pic-
old bridges too along the
yeah.
Ohio River that are not in use anymore, but they're still standing.
Oh, for sure. Let's see. Not really metal detecting related, but
I love those Mountain Dew bottles.
Mountain Dew came out with them aluminum bottles one year, so I made sure to get the whole set.
I remember
that. My jar of marbles. The jar I kept, I got that from my grandmother, and then all the marbles that I found are in that jar.
By the way, we like bottles too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not big on bottles as far as knowing what they are, but I collect them when I find them.
Heck yeah.
This one. So this is a silver napkin holder. It is
Wow.
monogrammed. So ironically, this lady decided that she was going to blame me for digging when I dug her yard. She was going to blame me for stirring up some trash, and her husband hit it with the lawnmower, which it wasn't me for sure. But I had found a solid silver spoon on her property and gave it to her earlier. The first time I was there, I gave it to her. Now this I found just off the edge of her property on city property, and it was right at the end. You can see the monogramming on there.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
The same people that was monogrammed for that silver spoon was on this napkin holder, and she came down there and asked me what I had found because I donated it to her house. She was wanting to keep it for historical value, and then she tried to get this one off of me, but won't let me back on her yard, so I kept this one.
Well, that's a new thing to add to our list, Andrew.
Yeah.
Right?
The silver napkin.
That's
Yeah,
why I
I've
love
never
these
seen
shows.
that.
I find out all these things that I need to find
Yeah.
that I didn't know about.
Right.
This was I was mentioning this one earlier. It's Louis Kossuth. It's a Civil War token. I don't know that much about it, and I actually screwed it up by cleaning it.
Oh.
But it's got a whole story on the back. My eyes are horrible. I can't read it. But Louis Kossuth the Hungary, something like that. Somebody can probably read it. Anyway, I actually heard it by cleaning it. But it was a Civil War token, and they used it for gambling, and I found that at the one old home site.
Oh, wow.
That's neat.
But
I've
yeah,
never
that
heard
was
of that before.
yeah. I'll remember it exactly, but I know it's Louis Kossuth. A little silver pin.
Ooh.
I don't know what jacket pin this came off of, but I found this underneath the goalpost of a football field.
Nice.
Like I said, digging in those ironic areas.
Mhm.
I like the little bottles. There's a couple more of the rings that I found and stuff. I don't display a lot of my stuff. I just put certain things. Another one of those little boxes that I'll take out with me. That brass ring there, it's really modern, but I just like putting it in there because, if it's you never know who's going to be at the door. If it's it could be a female at the door, right? It may not be the male homeowner. It could be the female. So you want to show her something that she might find interesting.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think even what that is. Yeah, that's something I don't ever know what it is. It's pewter and it's stamped,
Oh, wow.
but I don't know what it was, and I can't figure it out. So I just laid it in here. There's a cattle tag I found. A lot of this stuff I found on a Missouri trip. 3-ringer token. Oh no, that's not it. That's not the token.
That's right. A ring is a ring.
Ring is a ring for sure. Let's see if there's anything else in here that I haven't mentioned yet.
Shane,
It's
how do
kind
you
of
like
neat.
being the guest instead of the host? You're so used to being the host.
Bro, I love to talk, man. It's a fun experience. I think I said this to John when we were talking about this. I can give you hours worth of content because I don't know how to shut up. So here's a little fun thing that I've been doing. I got this cool glass vial that's on a stand, and so I found, I started stacking silver inside of here. I can fit dimes down in there. So once I got this, ever since then, every dime that I come across, silver dime goes in there. I got a couple stands back there with more finds on it. Randy Riddle of Riddle's Relics makes jewelry for metal detecting finds and sent me this cup.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
We Dig It. That's Gene. Made me one of those. I put stuff in here that I just treasure, right? Stuff from people. Mike, Metal Detecting North Carolina, made me this koozie that has all this guns and stuff on it. He's a really talented, nice guy. And then everybody's channel coins. Shoot, I went metal detecting in Michigan a while back, and I found this, and it was the best find I found in this the whole time on the park that I was there. But it was an early '80s Care Bear coin,
Aw.
right? You want to talk about something that sounded like a silver dollar,
Oh,
a
I'm
big
sure.
heavy aluminum coin. I just tokens are probably my favorite though. I like to find tokens. They're all shapes and sizes.
Oh yeah.
I don't even remember what they all are, and my eyes have gotten bad over time. So, but yeah, anyway,
They're always
that's a-
different too, you know?
That's a
Shane,
little
do you
bit
have
of
any
my treasure area.
Scorpion tokens there? Or
What's
your
that?
Scorpion coins?
I don't know what a scorpion coin is. I'm sorry.
From the Scorpion guy, your channel
Oh,
coin.
yeah. So Greg, sorry, you can see my mess there. Greg at oh, that's not it. Hey, that's it. Where'd I get that one? I don't even remember where this one came from.
I did, Brad.
I got some handy. They just got my logo. That's just like this, and then has my logo on them. But Greg at Scorpion Metals, he's definitely a community member. He makes patches, makes all kinds of stuff like that. I thought I had one of mine down here.
I'm in touch with him right now, so
Are you?
He's a great dude. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something. He's an even better guest.
oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I watch him on lives. Okay.
Dude, he's very personable. He was a great guest. I had him on in August, and a lot of the places that you go, the commercial sites online to buy like the coins and stuff, is definitely more expensive. This box. So this was a lot, and I saw you all featuring it. That this is a lot of the underwater stuff that I found.
That was Alexa, by the way. Alexa created the video.
Alexa kicked butt. It made me excited to watch me.
Good.
Yeah, she is our
She's good
video
at it.
editor.
But yeah, so a lot of this is stuff that I found using the Blue Nemo underwater. Found this necklace. Underwater metal detecting is probably the best future that's still out there. A lot of this stuff cleans up perfectly. Just little charms and stuff like that.
There.
But
Happens to Crystal all the time.
But yeah, for sure. Detecting underwater is still a lot of fun. If you've never used a Nemo, it is a blast.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I find just junker rings and stuff like that. But learning how to detect underwater is cool.
Well, that's right, Bree. Bree and Virginia do that in Washington.
There's a lot of stuff. And then I got some other silver coins and stuff in here that I found. I have never found a Standing Liberty coin.
Wow.
makes me mad. I've never found a standing Liberty quarter. Right
Me
now,
neither.
I need to find one.
I have
Can you
not
explain
found
what a
one either.
Nemo is? That's a
What's
question
that?
in the chat.
A Blue Nemo. So it's a diving apparatus that gives you about 10 feet of hose, and you don't need any special permits or training to use it. You just kind of got to learn how to use it. And so you go out to your lakes. You take your underwater detector. I prefer my Simplex Ultra, and and because I'm not worried about it if I flood it, if I hurt it. It doesn't bother me so much. But the best part about it is that it's very it's very good. It's got vibration in the handle, and then if you have and it's really easy to pinpoint targets underwater. I use my Legend underwater too, but it's really good. So and then when you get under these diving boards down 10 feet or so, it's just like candy from a baby picking up treasure. I don't know, just a bunch of stuff. Always find rings and stuff like that. I got boxes of finds that I haven't even gone through.
Jeez.
I just find so much I don't ever really take the time to organize it.
Right.
Just always digging. Got to keep finding. Anyway, yeah, that's just another box of stuff. A lot of that came from the underwater.
Yes, Kim, you can use a Garrett carrot underwater.
Yep, I do.
Do people use it? Oh, okay.
Mhm. Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't shut up there for a little while, so
No,
I just
keep
kind of
going, buddy.
wanted to go through. Okay, well, shoot, since you asked.
Oh
So
my
I also have
Here
little
we go.
cabinets like this. This used to be a Subway bread box, and they gave it to me when they were getting rid of it. And then I've got trays.
I like
that's
that idea
cool.
for
Yeah.
display. Like that's cool.
Just odds and
That's a
ends.
good idea,
There's
Bree.
tokens, Chinese belt buckle. I found that on a site that was we were looking for Morgan's Raiders stuff. I thought I had found a real breastplate or something, and that's what it turned out to be.
Oh, yeah.
The thrill of victory, agony of defeat. This is kind of cool. If you look closely, somebody decided that they were going to carve up a nickel. Oh shoot!
Oh goodness.
Anyway, they decided they were going to carve up a nickel. Yeah, that's what happened. Oh, that was bad.
Yeah. Is it all
Anyway,
right?
it's all good.
Nothing
Yeah, everything's
broke?
okay. There's nothing that's going to get hurt. It's just my basement dweller. Once he sees it, he's probably going to go crazy. As I'm picking it up, I'll show you a couple of the things. Yeah, I'm just going to throw everything on here.
That was
You
an
know, like
Andrew move right there.
watch backs,
Yeah, but my stuff broke.
and even stuff like I think this was like a door knocker,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Cool.
and it was really cool, and it's so heavy. But I just always find stuff, and I don't have places to put it. Old flat buttons. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I spilled that.
So when you're digging and you're detecting and you get a really good signal and it turns out to be a clad quarter,
Yep. Love this. It's hit old hockey.
Yeah.
It was very time.
Mhm.
Oh my. Uh, 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 yeah, here's like everybody likes finding the drop 3-ringers. Here's one that was fired.
oh wow.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
I think
Yeah, you can still see the rings in it. This one out of Georgia somewhere. I can't remember. North Georgia. A lot of things where I found.
Didn't make that a sin? Sometimes I made them into poker chips and such.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you all know him or not. Chris, he's Show Me Treasure. He thought it was found a bullet that they had carved into a penis.
Ooh. All right, we got to have him on then.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I think that's a thread spool,
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
but I'm guessing that's what it is. I never really positively identified it, but it's metal. The thing of it that was ironic about where I found this, it was on a hillside, and somebody had built a little shack and was living on somebody else's
Alexa.
property. And they lived up there for 40 years, and nobody knew about it. And the homeowner finally ventured out on his property and found some old guy living in a shack on his property, and evicted him. So I went up there and dug there.
That's awesome.
This is just stuff that I've found, and I don't even know what all of it is. Just random coins that are not.
No kidding.
I don't think they're anything but new. I got pick up. This is ironic. I don't know what they were doing with it, but I think it used to be a coin. I think they make a ring out of it.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
That's what that looks like.
And I never really explored it further. I put it on my tray and went on.
Mike.
You dug that, Shane?
Yep.
That's cool.
I dug it in a city park. I'm not sure which coin that is, but you
Yeah,
can
well,
find it.
that's what I was trying to figure out. Wait, oh, that looks like a weird token. Or...
Foreign
It
or
kind of looks like some of them.
if it's anything.
It kind of looks like some of them Hispanic coins with the guy the way he looks.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, that makes
But I'm
sense.
not sure what it is. I don't think it's silver. And then
You don't
this
think
side
it
has
is?
like
Oh.
looks like it. I can't even tell what that is.
Is that a dragon?
Yeah, it looks like.
Signs though, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
every time I pick up a flat button, I'll just show you real quick. Here's a part of a fob that was really intricate that I found. I know it's not nothing special, but I just like the way it looked.
Yeah, that looks cool.
I think it's special.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff I don't pay it no mind. I just kind of put it in a fines thing and go about my day. One of these days when I die, my kids are going to be like, "What is all this junk?"
Yeah. I said the
I
same
think
thing.
I think
My
we all
collection
look
is my
forward-
kid's problem someday.
Yeah, I think
This
we all
is
look
how
forward
we
to
get
that.
away with being hoarders.
Exactly.
Never found a silver thimble. More lead. When I find lead on these old sites, I keep it just in case, even if I haven't cleaned it, because I don't know what it is.
Right.
I was in Missouri, and I was digging with the Iron Antler folks, and James's father, 86, 87 years old, was out metal detecting with us, and he thought he'd found a piece of trash, but he kept it in his thing, and it ended up being an early Navy button from the 1840s or 50s,
Oh wow.
and
Oh, cool.
he thought it was trash. Another one of those. I like badges.
Oh nice.
His pen was still on this one. I thought was really
Only ever
cool.
dug one of those.
Yeah, I don't
Never
even.
dug a
Sometimes,
police badge yet.
sometimes you don't even realize things that you dig, and then until you go back and look at it, because I thought this was kind of cool. It's nothing fancy, but I dug it in a yard. I'm not even sure what it actually is, but I liked it had like a picture on it.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a tendency. I don't know how to shut up. So if you got something to say to me, please do.
Chat, you
You
guys
have
got
a-
questions for him?
Wait, yeah. Do you have like a white whale? Something you should have dug, if you haven't yet? Maybe.
The SLQ is right now is what I consider my white whale.
Okay.
Because
That's
I
what I
haven't
was
found
thinking.
it. Like I said, the coins that I haven't found that I want are the SLQ and the Benjamin half. I haven't found one of those. I don't know what that is.
I was gonna say a drawer pull at first, but that's not a drawer pull. Oh, it could be a 2-piece drawer pull, maybe.
Maybe. That sounded really nice.
Oh, I'm bad.
There is a question. Are you using different brands of machines?
Yeah, so there's another point I'll make is that you can't, if you get really just used to digging with one type of machine, you're actually costing yourself treasure. And what I mean by that is going back out to sites. I've had the ability to use the Deus. I've had the ability to use the Manticore, the CTX 3030, just all of the machines, and they're all really good at something that like the old Fisher machines were nickel machines. I could go find nickels all day with the old Fisher. I seem to find more. I seem to find more silver with the I seem like the Equinox 800 I found more silver with than anything else. I just know each machine will process a signal differently, and depending upon what you're looking for that day, the reason I love the Legend and the Nokta products is because of target separation. I can dial it into where I'm super happy with it. And so I tend to pick out, more targets that way. Each machine is great in its own way and very different.
Kim, did that answer your question right there?
I was gonna say, yeah, the different brands.
My first silver when I started back was with the Garrett Ace 350, and believe it or not, I dug a pop can, and it was a big banging signal, and then basically I swung back over the hole and I found a Merc dime underneath of it.
No, there you go.
How lucky is that, right?
Right. That's
Sometimes
awesome.
it pays to get the trash out of the way, huh?
Yeah.
Well, now you're on another subject of layers. If you've got places that you can consistently dig, it serves you well to go out and just take your buddies out, hammer the shallow stuff, because that's what everybody goes for, the easy target, right? So they may dig more trash, and then you can go back and dig the deeper stuff later. I mean, because you're trying to get to the deeper ground.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's different.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is, but I loved it. Got that Lowenbrow lion on it, but it was so pretty. I found it in a yard, and it was a very old house. So I don't even know if it's some kind of I thought it was some kind of a cat, but didn't even get the dirt out of it. How sad is that? Which one is this? Oh yeah, look at that old dog tag.
1914.
That's
You
not
ever
That's it.
thrown away a find, thinking
Yeah,
it was
look at-
garbage, and then found out later it was treasure?
Garbage that that was the silver napkin holder. When I first found it, I didn't realize what it was. I put it in my bag. I think on my video for that, I didn't even recognize it right away until I started cleaning up the stuff sitting at the edge of her property. So that was something that I thought was aluminum to begin with, because it was such a big piece of silver that that I didn't know until I started looking at it, cleaning it up a little bit, because I always clean up a little bit before I leave the site. I like finding hem weights too.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, that silver napkin holder for sure. I wasn't sure what it was. I find
Right,
I get
Tim?
so many flat buttons. Oh my gosh.
I've got a gallon bags of full of them. It's ridiculous. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, little fighter planes.
Mm-hmm.
This is most of the stuff that goes in these trays, the stuff that's not precious or anything like that. It's just neat.
That's
My gosh.
Exactly.
Hey, I've almost got all my mess cleaned up.
There you go.
That's totally something that I would do.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I spilled the whole tray. I would have never guessed that sitting here I would be cleaning up a mess that I made while I was talking to you guys. No, but inevitably, man, I love the hobby. I love everything about it, and the finding, the research on things, researching targets, researching sites. It's just it's a nonstop, keep your mind going type of thing.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
addictive.
it really
and
is.
It
Now,
becomes a way of life.
what do you find? I wouldn't say more entertaining, but like, what would you find more satisfying with our hobby? Like, what part of the hobby do you find satisfying?
I like research. I like to research my properties, and especially when somebody's got like a new permission, and I like to try to find out history of the property, things like that. And then when it yields some good finds,
Yes.
I think that's the satisfying portion of it.
I agree. It's rewarding to see all your research pay off when you start seeing signs of an old home site and then you actually start finding cool stuff. Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and a lot of times, and it's the other thing is that people got to realize that there are dud days too. You can do a ton of research and get. I'll give you an example. There's a small outlier town in the county that back in the 1800s had an old horse track on it, and it was a fairground, and and so we got some permission on some of the houses that were outliers next to it. And they were yielding really great targets. The fire department that owned the center of the old racetrack, and they had a helicopter landing pad out there, finally gave us permission to go out there in that area, and we thought that was Shangri-La. We thought that was going to be the best part of it, and it turned out that we didn't find anything in there at all, hardly, and not sure why.
Wow.
But it was right in the middle of where they raced the horses, and we thought that when they weren't racing horses, that would be where the fair and stuff was, and it ended up not being. But the properties surrounding it were all really good finds.
Do you have a favorite
Definitely
find?
have properties like that.
John, you want to ask that again? John, you want to ask that again?
Yeah, Shane, do you have a favorite find? Like,
And let me dig it up here in a minute once I put this thing up. But the skeleton key from the 1812 house that I can take back to a guy by a Revolutionary War. It was Buchanan. I can't remember his first name right now. Because it was him and his brother that came and settled that area. But it came out of his house. And that's the one that our local historian said that the key itself was made in the late 1600s, and they traveled a lot with it, on their locks. They take the locks from their places, and they would travel with them when they moved someplace new. And I thought that was really interesting.
Right. I would have never thought that. That's cool.
do you have a favorite? Like, do you have a favorite item to dig? Like, if you could just keep digging one thing over the another, or one thing after the other, what it would be?
Yeah, I would say I would love to just sit and dig gold rings all the time just because of the value. But I've only, I want to find more Spanish, right? I got one half real, and it was kind of melted and burnt. I would like to find more Spanish coins. I don't know. I think since I only have one Spanish coin and one old British copper, just things that I don't have much of.
Right.
Pirate coins. There you go.
Heck yeah. I can't believe I spilt this tray.
That's kind of
Oh my
like what the realtors remind me of, is they always remind me of like pirate coins.
Yeah,
It just has
pieces
that
of 8.
right. You look at the back of a real and it's just the pillars, and it just looks like, oh man, that was probably in like a pirate treasure chest.
Oh, yeah, the stories like
I
that
don't
would
have
be
one to
on
look
that.
at.
Our buddy on Saturday, we think dug a half rail, but it's so slick on both sides, we can't say for sure.
I kind of want to believe in my head that story that you told me is like that's what happened to his coin.
Alexa.
I'm not going to drop this one, but
Okay.
oh yeah. So ironically, when we hang on, that's a cool find. This was one of my first videos that I made. It was with the legend, an old sheet music holder.
Sheet music. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh wow!
And I didn't know. I had no idea what it was when I dug it. And it was on one of my first videos, and I thought that was something that was really cool. I probably ought to put that someplace else in this find box. But when we went to Digstock in upstate New York that year, I'm just going to give a quick shout out to this place. But Valcor Brewing Company, we sat in that place and ate every night when we was up there. It was some amazing comfort food, man. That place was really cool. I kept the token.
I went there.
There you go.
We were
That's
probably
a good-
right there that night, same night.
Hey, Jeremiah.
That's crazy. That place is awesome.
Oh, this is something you know by. These
Hey, Jeremiah.
these hinges are old icebox hinges from back when. They're not super old, but I found them as a pair, so I kept them. I've always been thinking of what I could attach to them and use them. But they use these on old like I guess like a cooler, like an icebox.
Wow!
And I found a pair of them side by side.
That's really neat.
I guess a horse tack buckle that I always thought was really neat because it's got the club symbol inside of it. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but it's my guess. I don't know. You just see that a lot of the stuff that when I don't know what to do with it, I just throw it in here, and I'm not spilling it again. But
That's awesome. I
giant,
like that.
oh yeah, giant piece of lead, but I didn't realize it until I got it. It was a crown.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Holy
neat.
cow.
I'm not sure what it is.
I want to find one of those lead pieces where they would have flattened out the lead, they would have wrote inside of it, and then rolled the lead back up into like a circular roll.
Yeah,
they used to write messages to each other.
Yeah, this is another piece of lead, super super heavy, but it looks like a shell.
That's cool.
I don't know what the purpose of it was. I just dug it and stuck it in here. A nice example of a good 3-ringer.
Oh, that's in good shape.
Yeah,
Probably
that's-
one of my better ones. And then I'm not sure what this exactly was because I can't tell if it was a button or something, but it was round and it got a escutcheon on it. Like I don't know what it is exactly, but I always stick these in here and I don't bury them because I don't know exactly what they are, and then someday I'll come back to them. Oh, I found this my old policeman's whistle.
Oh wow.
That was a trip to find.
I found one of those and it screamed.
That's right. I remember that.
Mine don't work, but anyway, I thought that was another one of my early finds that I didn't. I think it dated back to right around 1900. But yeah,
That's crazy.
I've made a big mistake and dumped a whole tray of stuff out, and it took me forever to get it cleaned up.
We inspired you.
Yeah. No, I definitely love to talk, so I definitely appreciate hanging out with y'all tonight and getting a chance to share some of my stuff. And
Oh, you've been a
this-
hell of a
Appreciate
guest.
this. Shane.
Yeah, well, I like to
Mm-hmm.
talk, man. I told John, I said I can sit here and talk for hours if you want me to too.
Hey,
Shane's YouTube channel is Thirsty Thursdays, but it's Ohio River history.
Yes, sir. Ohio River History. We do Thirsty Thursday every Thursday, most Thursdays at 9 o'clock. I'll take a week off every now and again just to prevent burnout or if I've got other stuff. I do offer a membership program there that where every month on the first Thursday of the month I give away Amazon gift cards just as a quick thank you for those that stick with me and support me because what little bit you do make on YouTube. If you're not doing it, you should be giving back to the community that supports you. So I use that money for giveaways and shipping, and I always, I definitely give more than I make. So it's just one of those things that I feel like it's necessary. If people are going to hang out with you all the time and spend time with you, then you should find a way to give back. Also, the best things to do is always promote people that are in your chat. There's nothing more important than recognition when you're doing a live and recognizing and getting to know the people that show up to support you. I've made more good friends that way by just people that come a few times and taking 15 minutes to get to know them on Facebook. It's a great practice and it'll yield you a lot of new friends. I just wanted to say, before we get done today, that I'm blessed to have met so many great people. This community is awesome. When you tone out the rest of the world and you just talk shop, metal detecting, and treasure hunting, stress goes away. It's a much better place to live, and the rest of the stuff in this world just sucks. And I'm going to ignore it as long as I can.
heck yeah.
Agree.
That's awesome. Well said.
That is very well said.
Yeah, it's a blast. I wish I could see better so I could see some of the people that are coming in. So if anybody came in that I asked to be here today, I appreciate you. I couldn't see you in the chat. Anybody that I haven't talked to in a while, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and we'll chat. And I'm sorry I couldn't see your names.
Thank you, Shane.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shane. Hopefully we'll get a chance to dig with you sometime.
Heck
I
yeah.
would absolutely. If you're ever in the Midwest or if I ever hit your all's area again, I will definitely hit you up. You guys are awesome. You guys are welcome. If you want to come promote on my live anytime, you're more than welcome. Just let me know.
Awesome.
collab,
Thank you so
man.
much, Shane.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. I'm sorry I sit and talk the whole time, but
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
You know, it's getting to know new people. So, like I said, you just hit me up anytime. I'd be glad to do anything I can to help you. I'll come back and do a giveaway for you sometime.
I appreciate it, Shane. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, guys.
You too, buddy.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
See ya.
So that's why I was drawn to Shane. I've been watching him for quite a few years now, and he's one of the biggest supporters that I could think of on YouTube, on the Tube of You. So,
Yeah, that was awesome.
I love his story of how he got started. Love
Mhm.
it.
That's like, come on, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's a major plus for our community. So check him out on Thursdays, 9 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah. Check it out. Thirsty Thursdays.